All right. So, pertaining to the questions that you asked, there are only three scenarios when it comes to Z-scores. Oh, well, let me say good evening. Hope all is well. Hope everything's going all right. So there are only three main scenarios when it comes to performing the application on Z-scores. There's less than, greater than, and then between. So less than, greater than, between. So all the questions that you gave me pertain to, either one or all three of those scenarios. So what I did was I took number 11, which gave all three scenarios, and I'm just gonna do that one and show you how to do the process. And then you can take that and apply it to all the other problems and let me know if you have any other questions from there. So in number 11, the one that I pulled up had the mean as 1520, 1520, and standard deviation is 324. And it asked us percentage of what was the application? Oh, 1 second. Did I delete it? Yeah. Here it goes. The percentage of scores. Okay, we're dealing with college scores on a test. So the percentage of scores that were greater than 1876, percentage of scores that were less than 1423, percentage of scores that were between 1099 and 1747. All right. So we're gonna walk through the process. First thing they did was they gave us the mean, which was 1,520, standard deviation was 324. We're going to use our Z-score formula, which is our data value minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. All right, so our data value in question for the first one is 1876. Our mean is 1,520. Standard deviation is 324. So you plug that into the formula. 1876 minus 1520 divided by 324. And that gives you 110. And always remember your Z-scores are always going to be rounded to the second decimal place. All right, so it always be rounded to the second decimal place, and that gives us 110. Once you get your Z-score, you're going to go to the chart. And I emailed the whole class this chart. That'll be in your emails, and it should also be in your Canvas announcements. So this is the chart right here. And we had 1.10 for our Z-score. So you go to the chart. This is 1.1 right here. The zeros up here. So your digit that's farthest to the right will always be this top row right here. So if I have, let's make sure you're okay with it. If I have 2.39, 2.3 is going to be on this column right here. The 9 will be right here. So this value that's all to the farthest right, your rightmost digit, will always be up here. And then everything that precedes it will be on this column over here. Okay. So now we are looking for 1.10. So 1.1 is right here. 0 is right here. And where they meet is right here. Look it closer. Yeah, try to. There you go. And so the value is 0.8643. So now when we go back to our notes, that's where I got this value from, 0.8643. So now it asks us about greater than. Everything in the chart. Now in the chart, let's go back to the chart so you see the diagram. All right, going here to our normal distribution. Everything under the curve is equal to 100% or just 1. In other words, if you convert to a decimal, that would be 1. Now, this tells us that this chart gives us everything to the left, which represents less than. So then if I want to know what is greater than, whatever's to the right of our Z-score, we have to, let me write this here. We have to subtract it from that 1, which is 100%. Okay, so if we ever want to find greater than, we take the chart value and subtract it from 1. And that's what I did right here. So I had that 0.8643, subtract that from 1, that gives me 0.1357. And then MATLAB wants the percentage, wants the decimal in the percent form, so that's 13.57%. All right, so that's the first scenario, greater than. You always take the chart value, subtract it from 1. So the next scenario is less than. follow the same z-score formula. This time we're taking 1423 and subtracting 1520 and then divided by 324. So we just have a different x value in question, but the mean stays the same and the standard deviation is still the same. The 1520 and 324 still the same because we haven't changed problems. So that gives me negative 0.30. We'll go to the chart one more time just to emphasize the process. So we have negative 0.30. So we got the 0 up here, of course. That's this first column. So negative 0.3, 0 is right here, and that gives me 0.3821. And that's what I got right here. Now, it asks for less than, and remember I mentioned the chart always gives less than, or to the left of. And so that is our answer. The 3821 is our answer. And that's a percentage is 38.21%. Okay. And then the last one, between. We got between 1,099 and 1,747. So we convert both of those values to z-scores individually. So we'll have two z-scores in this case. We got 1,099 minus 1520 divided by 324. That gives me negative 1.30. And then 1747 minus 1520 divided by 324 gives me 0.70. Now, when you go to the chart, you get these two values of 0.0968 and 0.7580. And now, once you get your chart values for the third scenario between, you subtract them from each other. And that'll give us 0.6612, and that's 66.12%. All right, that's your answer. So those are your three scenarios. You have less than, greater than, and between. Less than, the chart value always gives you less than. The chart always gives you less than. That's the chart value that you pull from it. Greater than, you always take the chart value, subtract it from 1. And then between, you take the two chart values from your two separate z-scores and then subtract them from each other. And there'll always be those key words or key phrases that will be in your wording and word problem. As a matter of fact, as far as the class notes go, here's the summary of that. You know, it don't always have to say less than, depending on the application. It could say shorter or colder or below. That represents less than. If it's greater than, it could be taller, hotter, above. So any of those wordings will let you know which one to go with. And between, only word I've seen for between is between. So, but these are the three scenarios summed up. All right, try it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good one.